I'm sitting back just observing, watching the videos being made on social media. And the only thing that I see coming across my timeline on TikTok is Black Americans this, Black Americans that, FBA this, FBA that, African this, Ghana this. And then I sat there and I listened to one of Tariq's Nasheed videos on YouTube. Now, I like Tariq Nasheed. I like what he has to say. I don't agree with everything he says, but for the most part, I support the whole delineation movement. I do. I feel that FBAs or Foundational Black Americans should delineate. I feel that Foundational Black Americans should focus on themselves, stop helping everyone else, and denying yourselves. Black Americans help everyone but themselves. And while you're helping everyone else but yourselves, these migrants or immigrants that you help will turn around and give you their butts to kiss. Tell you how lazy you are, how you're not getting reparations. You support them, but they don't support you. You support their businesses, but they don't support your businesses. And you wonder why you're on the bottom. Now, after that birthright citizenship court hearing today, I guess the prosecutors, the lawyers, did their little speech outside the courthouse. And there's always a melanated face. Now, the female that was the attorney, she could be an African immigrant that speaks English well. See, that's how many Black Americans are deceived. You hear an English-speaking African and you believe or think that they are one of you, but in reality, they are not. So I sat back and I watched and I listened. And Foundational Black Americans have all of these acronyms. ADOS, Pan-African, FBA. And while you guys are sitting there fighting among yourselves, going back and forth, saying who's FBA, who's not FBA, who's ADOS, and who's Pan-African, and you're African, and you don't like yourself. While you guys are sitting there fighting among yourselves over acronyms, those same immigrants are making moves with the help of the Democrat Party. The Democrats replaced you. I spoke on that years ago on YouTube. And we see that happening right in front of our eyes. And the unfortunate thing about that is that you have a lot of FBAs that's helping the Democrat Party to bury their own people. Now, you don't see any Africans at all, if any, turning on their own people. Now, you may have some say, well, we need to get along and we need to be one and, and stop, attacking Foundational Black Americans and they're the indigenous people here and they paved the way for us. You may hear Africans say that. But at the end of the day, they're sticking with their own people. They're supporting their own people. Immigrants support immigrants. And they always make sure that Foundational Black Americans are in the forefront, that you are always in front of the protest line, making sure that you are always in the front of the media camera. And while you're pushing their agenda, you're being pushed in the background. You, not just you, but your children and your children's children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, you are destroying your own children's future, your own offspring. And the only thing I see foundational Black Americans doing is complaining. I don't see any of y'all preparing your kids to maybe run for political office. You're not encouraging each other to run for political office. Instead, you're complaining about what immigrants are doing and what the Democrats are giving the immigrants. And the immigrants are making moves and replacing foundational Black Americans in Congress. They're not doing it on their own. It's the same Democrat Party that you guys have been supporting and you still support. Many of you still support that. And you're attacking the only man that can now help you, which is Trump. See, I'm a proud Trump supporter. I'm going to always be a Trump supporter. And this whole thing that's happened with Iran, I think the job need to be finished because the average American don't see the threat that Iran posed to this country. You don't see it. And it's interesting that you have all of these behind the camera. You have all of these podcasters. I don't want to call them podcasters, but you have all of these content creators now. All of them seem to have all the answers. You know more than the president knows. He's got a secret security clearance, a high-level secret security clearance. You have no secret security clearance, but you know everything. You know, oh, that's wrong, and Iran is doing this, and oh my God, Iran is coming to get us. You have no idea what's going on. And the most of y'all that's got the most to say has never served on the front line. You've never been a part of a forward unit. See, you have never been a part of that. I have. So you have no idea what's going on over in Iran, over in the Middle East, and you're supporting them. You're supporting the people that's chanting death to America. Those are the people that you're supporting, that you're coming against your own president. And of course, I know you're going to say, that's not my president. I know you're going to say that. That's a Democrat talking point. I know you're going to say that. But you're coming against your own president, the president that's trying to keep you safe. And y'all are like out there, and I'm off my topic, but y'all are out there complaining about the gas prices. Oh, the gas prices are too high. And Trump says, listen, I'm trying to keep you guys safe. Because apparently he knows something and sees something that you don't. So I support Trump on that. But Black Americans, y'all really need to get yourself together. Because all of these acronyms, ADOS, Pan-African, FBA, and you're fighting among yourselves as to who's African, who's not African. We're not African. If that's how you want to identify, you go ahead and identify that way. While in the meantime, the Democrat Party is funding and aiding those same people that you guys supported on the protest line, that put you out front and you're attacking ICE. Those same people are being quickly moved ahead of you. You have people that's coming to this country, had not been in here a few years, and now they're in a political position. You have rogue judges out there that's supporting that would strike down everything Trump tried to do for this country. and they'll strike it right down. Oh, you don't have the right to do that as a president. But no one complained when Biden was doing a whole lot worse. You forget, Biden was the one that created this mess. The Democrat parties were the one that created this mess that Trump is trying to clean up. We wouldn't have this mess going on now if the Democrats, when they were in power, didn't create this mess. But now you're blaming the only man that's trying to clean the mess up, and it's not going to come without opposition. There's going to be opposition. Because the devil knows he has but a short time. But as far as Black Americans, while you guys are fighting and bickering among yourself as to who's Africans and who's ADOS and we're FBAs and we're delineating, and while you're talking about on social media, while you're on social media talking about you delineating, those same immigrants are making moves with the help of the Democrat Party to replace you in the political field. And on your job. I hear a lot of y'all complaining about how an immigrant kicked you off your job and they kicked you out of your neighborhood. And I know this is not the Black Americans I grew up knowing. We've always been a people that would fight. We just don't lay down and just take a butt whooping. But this generation is just laying down, taking whatever's given to them, as long as you have an acronym. As long as you can claim somebody else's, oh, I'm Native American, I'm Indian, I'm African. And at the same time, you're still on the bottom. And you're being completely ignored by the same people that you guys put in power. So until you get a hold of yourselves, get a hold of your kids, start pushing education, and start preparing your kids for the political office, these high-tech jobs that's out there, the medical field, not CNA. I'm not talking about being a CNA and a nurse's aide, because that's all a CNA is a glorified nurse's aide. But I see immigrants all the time coming here, and they're going to end up taking care of you and your parents when you get old, and they don't even like you. So you already know what type of service that you won't be receiving. You already know that you will be abused. Your parents and your grandparents will be abused because they're being cared for by people that don't even like you. So Black Americans, you need to get yourselves together. Leave all of these acronyms alone. Stop trying to be an African, because you're not an African. I don't care how many DNA tests you may take or what that DNA test says. It tells you it's for entertainment purpose only. What don't you understand? For entertainment purpose only. And when they start putting you to, oh, you're so many percentage of Nigerian and Ghana and Kenya, these places did not even exist back in time. When your ancestors were taken in captivity, they didn't even exist. So they're comparing your DNA with people that exist in certain parts of the world that you have no links to. So, and you're calling your grandparents and your parents a lie when they tell you who you really are. Your same identity that was taken from you, that was stolen from you. You was reclassified. And now all of a sudden, in 2026, you're an African. I recall, who was that? Was talking about, he was, Muhammad Ali was talking about he went to go to a restaurant and they refused to let him in. And then he saw some Africans that were here and they said, oh, they can go in because he's not a Negro. So they let the Africans in, and they put a distinction between the Africans and the Negro. There was a distinction there. Muhammad Ali talked about that. So they're telling you who you are and who you're not, and you're not an African. But they want you to be an African so that they can ride on your coattail to get where they want to be. And while they got their foot on your shoulders and you pushing them up, they're further pushing you down. And then get ahead of you and talk about how lazy you are and how you don't take advantage of the opportunities that's here. And I agree with them on that, because you're not. You're too busy arguing, complaining about who's ADOS and who's African or Pan-African and who's, FBA. When you should be positioning yourself and your children to be successful in life. So, I don't know what else to say. You can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink it.